Okay, so today I'm going to show you two different ways to get a neon glow effect when it comes to writing. I can't decide which one I think works better. This is done with colored pencils, and this one is done with chalk pastels. I like the chalk pastels because they're easier to smudge than the colored pencils are, but the colored pencils are a little bit easier to control. So maybe mixing the two depending on what you think and what kind of materials you like. But let's look at them a little bit closer. So you can use whichever one. I'll show you both, and if you would like, you can maybe try and mix them. See which method you like the best. So first things first, I'm gonna use a black piece of paper. So I will show you how to do the colored pencil first. So I have my colored pencils. I'll need one color, a white, and a black color. So I'm using orange and then black and white, but make sure your pencils are sharp because that really helps. So you're gonna write in bubble letters, whatever you wanna write. Let's do my name just for kicks. And you're gonna wanna make this a little bit thicker so that you have room to write the little white line in there. So just your basic block letters is what you're doing here. And you want to use a color that's going to stand out on the black, so your lighter colors are going to work best. I am just going to write Lynn's because my whole name is too much. So S is always a tricky bubble letter to use because they're so curvy. So I just draw out an S. Ooh, my pencil's about to break. So I just draw out an S and just kind of make it thicker as I go. Okay. So now that we have that drawn out, we're gonna wanna kind of create our glow here. So the same methods that we were using to shade our, our emoji. You're gonna wanna hold the pencil towards the end of the pencil. You're going to want a sharp pencil. You're going to want to use that edge of the pencil. So you notice the difference that when I was drawing my letters, I was close up and holding the pencil and using the tip. Well, now I'm holding my pencil back and moving it fairly quickly and lightly. So you're going to want to blur out that line to make it kind of look like it's glowing. And use back and forth circular motions. Your neon sign is going to be super bright, so you're going to want it to really look like it's lighting up the place. And just really take your time here. If you rush it, you end up kind of not getting the right effect that you need for this. So if you want, you can look up a picture of a neon sign and maybe kind of use that as a reference or something like that. So I think we've got a pretty good glow here with the colored pencil, and you can see how much control I have over where my pigment goes from the pencil and how thick or not, how dark or light I'm pressing on here. Okay, so that's step 1 or 2. Okay, next, the big thing with neon lights is their contrast with the bright white and the shadow. So wherever there's a highlight, there's going to be a shadow. And because neon lights are usually up against a wall, their shadow is right next to or right behind their letters. So you're going to want to kind of find where you wrote your block letters and line those. And so follow that line of the black letter where your shadow would be. So kind of think about, if my light is coming from this side, my shadow is going to be this way. So your shadow is going to be on the opposite side of where your light source is, or where your light is. So kind of think about when you're outside and the sun is directly in your face, your shadow is directly behind you. And the thing that's nice about the colored pencil is that you have really good control over where this shadow goes. I found that when I was trying to do the chalk pastel, it was a little bit more difficult to control because my chalk pastels don't really have tips because I use them sometimes. Okay. But like I said, think about where that shadow might be. If you need a reference, you can use, like I said, you can use a picture of a neon sign, or you can maybe go look up neon block letters to give you an example. Alright, so I think that's pretty good. And the last thing we need is that stark white highlight. So that's going to be our big characteristic of our neon sign. So try and find that middle of your neon, of your block letter. So that's where your highlight's going to go. And really brighten up that I'm gonna sharpen my pencil really fast because I want, like I said, I want a nice sharp tip for my pencil so I can be accurate in where I put this highlight because that's the important part of our neon signs is that stark white highlight. And so it really makes it look like it's neon and it's glowing. Maybe if you have a white gel pen, that might come out better. I don't have one right now, but that might be a good tool to use to make this highlight really strong. It's probably the more contrast you have, the more it's going to look like it's glowing. Alright, so that is neon lights with colored pencils. So let's try with our chalk pastels. So I'm going to use blue, I think. I'm going to do blue. So I'm going to write my name again. Using my chalk pastel. In block letters. It's okay if there's fallout on the edges because you're gonna just smudge that out anyways to make your glow. So this is, using chalk pastels is a little bit easier to make that glow, that hazy glow from the neon light. Okay, so lens. You can take your finger. You can use a little paper towel with your finger, like this. But either way, just kind of smudge it out. This one's going to be a bright neon light. I think I'm going to go back and make my L a little bit brighter here. Oh, I used the wrong color. Whoops. This was the color I needed. Okay. Looking good. All right. So, wipe my hands off. Same deal. Take a black and go along that block letter you made. So this is what I was saying, where you kind of have less control over the shadow, because chalk pastels tend to have some fallout, and mine, the way mine are, they are woodless, and so it's hard to kind of be precise with it. Yeah, that's pretty good. And I'm going to take my white and I'm going to try and get in that middle. I didn't do so hot there. But try and aim for that middle of your block letter. Alrighty, so that's about it. Now you have 2 different ways that you can make neon lights. If I was to make this a little bit more detailed, I might go in with a couple of different blues to make the shadows more prominent, or maybe emphasize where the glow is or not. You can possibly use these 2 methods. Either way, be creative. Bright and neon is pretty cool. I'm gonna go wash my hands. Y'all have a good one.